Hello, today we're going to read Daddy, Could I Have an Elephant by Jake Wolf. Daddy, said Tony, I need a pet. You do, said his father. Yes, said Tony. What kind, said his father. Could I have an elephant, said Tony. An elephant, said his father. Where would you keep it? Here in the apartment, said Tony. Well, how would you feed it? Where would it drink? It could drink out of the bathtub, said Tony. We could send out for Chinese. What if it got lonely, said his father. Elephants live in herds. Well, then we could get another elephant to keep it company, said Tony. How would we move the elephants up here to the third floor, said his father. Like pianos, said Tony. Pull them on ropes. I don't think elephants would fit through the window, said his father. We could try, said Tony. What if they get stuck, said his father. People would talk about us. What would they say, said Tony. They'd say that we're the family with the elephant sticking out the window. Well, how about a pony, said Tony. A pony could walk up the stairs. What would you do with it, said his father. Well, I'd gallop around the apartment and jump over the furniture, said Tony. It would leave hoof marks, said his father. I'd like to have a python, said Tony. 20 feet long. Where would you keep it, said his father. Well, some of it on the sofa, said Tony, and the rest of it on the chairs. Well, where would we sit, said his father. A flock of woolly sheep would be nice, said Tony. They could keep us warm at night. Sheep go baa when you're trying to sleep, said his father. Well, not if they're asleep too, said Tony. We could give them a definite bedtime. Well, what if they woke up early, said his father. Well, gorillas would be fun, said Tony. They could go out the window and climb up and down the side of the building. What if they decided to climb in somebody else's window, said his father. A parrot would be a good pet, said Tony. Somebody to talk to. Parrots screech, said his father. What about a quiet bird, said Tony, like a flamingo, and maybe a pelican. Flamingos and pelicans like beaches, said his father. We could put sand in my room and a palm tree, said Tony. Flamingos and pelicans need to be warm, said his father. Well, we could close all the windows and turn up the heat, said Tony. Expensive, said his father. I know what, said Tony. What, said his father. We could fill the living room with water. And then, said his father, we could get a dolphin, said Tony, and a baby whale. Both, said his father. All the kids from school could come over and swim with the dolphin and the baby whale, said Tony. Well, then they could sit on the sand underneath the palm tree and have a picnic. His father didn't say anything. I'd make the sandwiches, said Tony, and I'd clean up afterward. Tony and his father were quiet for a while. Maybe we should get something small, said Tony. What could that be, said his father. Well, puppies are small, said Tony. Just what I was thinking, said his father. Puppies are small. Could we get one, said Tony. Maybe we could take a look this afternoon, said his father. What about this morning, said Tony. It's possible, said his father. What about now, said Tony. Now is good, said his father, and they went out the door.